A tertiary qualification can be expensive. Keeping costs down while still applying yourself to the right career choices and courses is not so easy. The NGO Solidarity Helping Hand has launched career guidance services as well as a career guide. To explain this further, we have in studio with us Karin. She's from Solidarity Helping Hands. Karin, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Darwin. Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, is it possible for one to pick the right career and of course the right course to follow first thing while you're still in high school?
Making that decision is maybe one of the biggest decisions a teenager will ever have to face. And some research has shown that a person might change his job 7 to 10 times in his lifetime. And that does not refer necessarily to changing what you do, your job description. It refers to changing employers. So I think the key here is that what teenagers and also their parents must remember, the key important fact is that you must get information. You must make informed decisions, and you must make sure that you get as much information as possible about the direction you are heading in.
Now, Karin, this is a very expensive exercise, particularly getting a tertiary education qualification, and it's a consideration that involves both the parents, the students, and the teachers. What are the key things to consider in order for them to make the correct choice?
I would like to get back to the information that is really important. If you call a tertiary education department or a place where you can study further in any direction, you need to find out what are the requirements of that field that you want to study further in. You need to find out if there are any subjects on school that you need to have, that you must make provision for already early in high school. You need to find out what are the requirements, what do they need you to do, what skills do you need to have. So that's the first thing. Then also, of course, you need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to get to know yourself in terms of what your personality is like.
Speaking of career guidance, you've brought along a career guide. Why did you decide to publish a career guide?
Well, it's because there's really a need for good information about how to make these decisions. There's a lot of internet websites where you can get information about what is an architect, but what they don't necessarily tell you is how to make these decisions. And we have found out, especially with Helping Hand, the focus is upliftment through education, and we are trying to help children make educated choices or informed choices about their future. So if you want to do that, you need to know what they need to know. We get so many inquiries at Helping Hand, and just answering that has gotten me to know what needs to be answered. Also spoke to a lot of high school learners to know what are their fears, what do they worry about, and that helped me to compile this career guide.
Karin, how do you use the career guide? How do you navigate through the book so that you understand what's going on?
Well, if I can just show you the front, it really just looks like you want to open it and read it. So we really designed it with high school learners in mind. And then I went and we have different chapters. And each chapter has different writers. And they write on the topic that they are the master of. So, for example, like hope. So we've got somebody who's really expert on hope. How do you get hope for the future? That is something we don't necessarily think children need, but they do. And then there's about how do you make sure that you have a future? How do you choose between especially entrepreneurial skills? So things like that is what we look at. And then we have compiled it into 7 chapters, and all of those 7 chapters have different questions answered, but through different writers then, as I said, in different articles.
Karin, as I mentioned earlier on, it's all about money ultimately to get a tertiary qualification. Is there a cost involved in this career guidance, and how does this help students who are cash-strapped?
Okay, so first of all, the career guidance, the website, anybody can access it, and it's there for anybody to use. As far as the career guide is concerned, we got a lot of people who have donated money and made us possible for us to be able to give it out, but there is a fee of 30 Rand if they come and collect it at our head offices Helping Hand. Otherwise, it's 50 Rand for the postage included. As far as just one other thing that I would like to add to what a person must make sure of before they start to study, and that's where the finances again comes in, is if you want to study in a certain direction, you need to find out what are the costs surrounding these studies, and you need to find out, are you going to need a bursary, are you going to need a loan, and how will you be able to pay back that money, because that's really an important decision. Because if you change, or you have to change, or maybe you will, but you need to know what are the risks involved.
Now, through your organization, you also offer professional career guidance services. Tell us more about that and how those work, and who can access these services.
This service is available to the whole of South Africa, all of the communities. It's available to individuals. It is not necessarily related to age, because you can start at an early age, and even if you are a young worker already, you can get career guidance to get your head sorted out. We can test groups of up to 8 persons per group, and this can be done, as I said. We have a traveling person who goes around and makes sure that everybody can have these tests available to them, and that helps them then to make informed choices.
Do you have a program in place where you are assisting teachers or training teachers so that they can help students in career guidance issues?
That is really what our service is all about. This is one tool that we have compiled, but we have a website, and it's www.loopbaan.co.za or www.loopbaan.co.za. And on this website, we are trying to put all the information that teachers, parents and students or learners might need to make informed decisions. And we're trying to make it bigger and just roll it out so that we can empower, especially teachers who don't have the necessary time or information that they get like before to help students make these choices. And that's really where the gap was, is just to help get this information available to the whole of the public.
And if you missed that website, visit us, www.agritv.co.za. We'll have the information up there, as well as give us a call on our hotline, 011 791 5658. Karin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.